besties, and welcome back to another day on Tiny Toot. Today we had a visitor at the campsite, and I was actually so excited about this. I've been talking in several other episodes about wanting Flo and Clay to move off of the island, and yeah, the prospect of having a new cutie move on is so exciting to me. The only downside of villagers in the campsite, though, is that who they choose to replace is completely random, so I'm hoping that they don't choose to replace someone that I really love. Shep and Bones are probably my favorite on the island right now, and I just, how could I possibly part with them? That would make me so sad. So yeah, I'm hoping we get a cutie, but I decided to kind of live in suspense for a second and take care of some of my dailies first before I went to go check. Before we go and check the campsite, I wanted to get a few of my dailies done first. Whenever we have like exciting events on the island, I feel like I enjoy kind of waiting a little bit to go do those things because it just makes my day in the game a little bit more interesting. I wanted to go collect fossils in particular and get those assessed, and then I realized that I didn't have a shovel. One of my besties actually sent me a golden shovel in the mail, which I was so excited about. Thank you so much, Morgan, for the golden shovel. I actually got Nook Miles and a Nook Mile achievement for getting a golden tool, so that was pretty exciting. That was one of the Nook Mile achievements that I was feeling a little bit nervous about getting because I feel like it can take a pretty long time to get those DIY recipes, so, and also to get enough gold to kind of like make all of the tools. So yeah, one of the dailies that is kind of going to the wayside for me is shaking all of the trees. The only thing is that I do think that there is a reward for how many furniture items you've gotten from shaking your trees every day, and I want to do a little bit of research and see if there's a way that I can like somehow assign furniture trees on my island. I don't know, that might be completely impossible, but I really just don't want to shake every single tree. And the more I continue decorating on the island, the more I have trees that are like up on cliffs for decor, and it's just becoming really annoying to shake all of them. But then I went and visited Quinn, and she was actually cooking today, and I don't think I've ever seen this like animation of the villagers cooking in their house, and I think it's so cute. The last time I played, I purchased the like cooking permit or whatever in the ABD in resident services, and so now I'm able to get more DIYs for cooking, and she gave me apple jam, which I think is so cute. This is also going to be another great way for me to get more items to decorate with, so I'm very excited about that prospect as well. And yeah, I guess I did shake a few more trees than what I thought today, but I'm just kind of giving up on like shaking every single one every single day. I just feel like it gets really annoying and cumbersome and tiring, so I'm hitting like maybe 50% of them every day. I also feel like I've been doing a pretty bad job at making money in the game. I did finally purchase turnips on Sunday, and I ended up getting 100,000 bells worth, which I think was roughly like 1,000 turnips. I did use some of them because I wanted to move trees around, and I am nothing if not extremely lazy. So yeah, I've been checking the turnip market every day so far, and hopefully we will be able to make a little bit of money from that. I honestly don't know. I haven't really played in the stock market very much in Animal Crossing, so yeah, I did set up like a Discord Animal Crossing channel in our Discord community, and hopefully we can get a nice little group of people who want to trade turnips in there because I feel like that would be super, super fun. Then this happened. I don't even know what this man was thinking. Like, he is my favorite villager on the island right now. Sir, where do you think you're going? Of course, I had to tell him, no, don't go, because I'm not crazy. Like, we only have so many cute villagers on this island. I'm not letting Bones go. He's adorable. And then I popped into Nook's Cranny to see what items we had for sale today. There weren't too many. I already have the hammock, and so I didn't feel like I needed to buy another one. I think I already have several in my inventory, but I noticed that you get Nook Mile rewards for how many bundles of weeds you've sold. So I went ahead and sold some of the weeds that I had. I'm trying to be somewhat conscious about how much space I have in my house inventory because I don't have a lot. So, and I'd rather have it for items. I can always get more weeds. So I went ahead and sold those. And then I checked the turnip prices, and they really just weren't that good today. So I decided to hold on to them for another day. The one thing I did want to buy is the alarm clock. I feel like eventually I'll be able to get all of the like little camper things on Harv's Island so that I can change the color of it, but I'd rather just have the item for another time. So yeah, there's that. I was pretty excited about that. And then I did decide to get the basic cooking recipes because you also get a Nook Mile achievement for how many cooking recipes you've learned. So I felt like that was a worthwhile investment just to get that out of the way, and it'll give me the ability to make more things to decorate with. So I felt like it was well worth the money and definitely a win-win. And then I headed over to Able Sisters to check out what we have in here for the day. And it's been pretty abysmal the last couple of days. Today was like very Western themed, and I did think about getting the striped shirt, but then I just decided that I didn't really like it that much. I also thought about getting like a Western outfit, but ultimately I decided on just going with this like little self-care outfit in case I wanted to wear that. It's finally time to check the campsite though. A moment of silence. And we have Vivian! I actually love Vivian so much. I feel like the wolves are some of the cutest villagers in the game, and I was so excited to have her in here. I actually had really good luck. I went ahead and played a couple of games with her, and then I left the tent and came back and finally got the prompt to invite her to move on to the island. Sometimes this takes me a really long time, and so I was very grateful that I was able to get it on the first try, which I feel like really does not happen very often. Have you guys ever had a really hard time inviting your campsite villager before? I feel like there have been a couple of times where it's taken me so long that I've just like legitimately given up and left the villager in the campsite. She did ask if Tank wanted to move out, which I'm not gonna lie, made me a little bit sad. Tank was one of our starter villagers, and honestly he's my favorite of the two starters. I got Tank and Flo, and yeah, I honestly felt a little bit sad about saying goodbye to him, but I also don't like him more than I like Vivian, so I decided to go through with it. And I was just running around the island. I noticed that Red was actually visiting today, and I've completely forgotten to check for when he's visiting on the map, so I decided to go in and I literally just bought the very first painting that I saw for sale because I know you get a Nook Mile achievement for trying to donate fake artwork to the museum, so I figured I would just risk it this time and get the first one and then hope tomorrow that we're able to actually donate it. But even if we can't, it'll be totally fine. I did also visit Eugene, and he was hanging out with Clay, which seems like a very unlikely friendship, but you know what? Who am I to judge? I am just a girl, and they seemed like they were having a great time, so I left them to it and redeemed a few of my Nook Miles for the day. I have still just been letting them stack up for like a long time while I'm playing, and then I'll just redeem them all at once, which I know is not the most efficient way to do it, especially not for the Nook Miles Plus redeems. But I think for the bigger Nook Mile achievements, I don't think it really even matters that much. But for the Nook Miles Plus, it definitely does. I just get so distracted with what I'm doing that I don't even really hear the sound or notice that like I have something to redeem, and I just keep going with my day. So and then I popped into resident services just to kind of look over and see if there's anything that I wanted in the ABD, and I decided to go through all of the like DIY redeems and things like that, and I noticed that they had the vertical board fence today, which is actually what I have been waiting for. It's my favorite fence in the game. I think it's so cute, so I had to buy that one. And yeah, I honestly don't think that I'll be buying any of the other fences because I just don't even really like them that much, to be honest with you, especially not for the theme that we're trying to do on Tiny 2. Then I thought I would just kind of browse. I kind of considered getting the destination signpost, but I kind of decided to pass for now. And then I'm thinking about doing like a flower garden of some sort tomorrow because I really want to have more hybrid flowers on the island. So I decided to get a silo so that that will be, you know, something that we can craft and make for a little flower garden vibe, a little like flower farm maybe. I don't know. All I know is that I don't want this island to have nothing but white flowers everywhere. So yeah, I actually almost bought 2 of them, and I'm glad I was paying attention because that actually would have been such a mega waste of Nook Miles if I had done that. But I caught it in time, and then I was just familiarizing myself with what some of the other items were. Thought about getting street lamps, but I don't really need them right now, so I figured I would just pass on that for now. And there really wasn't anything else that looked good, so I just left it at that. After redeeming some Nook Miles, I decided that I wanted to move my house today so that when we do the flower farm tomorrow, my house will be in a little bit of a nicer place for us to be able to decorate around there. I kind of want to have the flower farm in my front yard, so my house is a little bit too close to where we have the pathing and stuff, so I think I'm just going to move it back and then maybe do a little bit of terraforming around the house. I was actually surprised that it was only 8,000 bells to move my house. I don't know why I thought it was 10,000. I know for the villagers it's 10,000, but I really couldn't remember. I just decided to move it straight back because it's already in line with where we have the pathing right now, so I figured that would be perfect. And I did speed this part up a little bit because otherwise I think this video would have been like an hour long, but I wanted to create some cliff terraforming and just a little bit of waterscaping behind my house just to give it a nice little background and also kind of separate it. I think that I'm going to add an incline and have this whole back area be one level higher, but I need to move Quinn and Maple's houses before I would be able to do that. So this is just me like heading in that direction, but it's obviously going to take several days and a lot more money. I've honestly been doing a pretty poor job grinding for money right now, so I'm very limited in what I'm able to do. Like, I don't even have enough money to put an incline in yet, so I'm gonna have to spend a few more days grinding for money. I'm hoping that participating in the stock market over the next couple of weeks will be a good way for me to make money, but I just feel like it takes a really long time. Aside from selling turnips, I feel like the second best way to do it is fishing for sea creatures, and Actually, I should probably say diving for sea creatures, not fishing for them. But yeah, I think that's probably the best way to get money, and it's unfortunately very annoying for me. Like, I just really don't have fun doing it. So yeah, I'm kind of putting it off, and that's why I'm broke. So maybe I will spend some time doing that in the next couple of days. I do feel like sometimes I'm in the right mood for it and it ends up feeling very relaxing, but I was kind of agonizing a little bit over how to do the cliff terraforming here. So I kept getting up and down and making the lower level just a little bit bigger so that I could make sure that all of the edges were rounded off on the top cliff. It was funny because I did all of that work and then I remembered that there used to be this glitch in the game where if you did this certain pattern with the water terraforming and then the cliff has to be like at a corner, like how I have it here, you can actually plant a tree right on the edge of the cliff and it looks really cool. So I decided to just try it out and see if that glitch still existed in the game, and I was so excited because it totally does. So literally I can plant that tree right on the edge of the cliff, and I just think that it looks so cool. Look at that. Look at that. It's so fun. All you have to do is copy that same pattern of like cliff and water terraforming, and you'll be able to do this on your own island too. And I feel like it just gives it like a slightly more custom look. Plus I just like the tree being on the edge. I just think it looks kind of cool. And then I'm just putting the other tree back. And yeah, I ended up doing it on the other side as well. And then I did make the upper level just like a perfect circle because I just didn't want to make this any bigger than what it was. I do think I'm using a lot of hardwood trees here, so eventually I may switch some of them out for cedar trees, but that's just kind of where we're at for now. I'm trying to, be very chill about decorating and not really overthink it. Kind of just reminding myself that the island is going to come together over a longer period of time and it doesn't have to feel finished yet. Before we close off this episode though, I really wanted to go and say goodbye to Tank and thank him for being such a wonderful starter villager. He has been such a sweetie. He said he would never forget my amazing delts, so I thought I would give him one last flex together before he moves on and has, new adventures without us on Tiny 2. It was actually so sad, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I will catch you very soon in the next one. Bye!